Welcome back to Anime Deconstructed. My name is Trooper Khan. I'll be your host today. Joining me is Thibni.
What up, guys? Snap!
Guillaume.
Raise your flags.
And right back there, you've got Deven hanging out building a gunpla. Today we're going to do our winter anime wrap-up, and I think we're starting off with Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju. And you can see the image of that on screen with the main character, who we have so much stuff planned for today, so I've had to take notes. Now, you can see that we've got Yurakute Sukeroku, alright, and this character, okay, is that character right there, is portrayed by none other than the voice actor who did Spike from Cowboy Bebop. Alright, and that's somebody called Koichi Yamadera, or I guess in Japanese you would say Yamadera Koichi. But all that to say, what is Rakugo? Maybe you've never heard of Rakugo before. Rakugo is what's defined as basically sit-down comedy, and so you can notice they're always in a seiza position. If you've ever done martial arts, you would, sit in this position throughout. And so let's just have a look at some of the a couple of the contemporary Rakugo performers, okay? So just first up, we've got Kimie Oshima. Now, Oshima Sensei has a PhD, and she is one of the leading English language Rakugo performers. We're very lucky to live in a time when we can actually enjoy Rakugo in English, and she was instrumental in bringing this about. She played a very important role in finding other Rakugo performers in Japan and started an actual Rakugo troupe, which is not an easy thing to do. If you've ever been in theater, Guillaume, I guess you could fill us in on that. You did a little bit of cinema and theater and stuff like that, didn't you?
I did a little bit of cinema, theater, not really as much. Yeah.
Okay, so more cinema. Okay.
When you're looking for a cast and crew, it can take a while. Actually, I'm actually doing it at the same time. So hey, if you want to star in a mafia kind of TV series on YouTube, you know who to call, all right? Like, I need some help, please. Seriously, please help me.
So if you're in the Montreal region and you wanna have fun with Guillaume and do a mafia movie, I may actually be interested. By the way, I'm about that mafia action, but if I have the time, that sounds like a lot of fun. So Oshima Sensei is a lot of fun. Go out and check her out on YouTube. You're gonna have a link right in the description. Next up, we've got none other than our very own Katsura Sunshine. Yep, you guessed it. Based on the Maple Leaf, he is a bona fide Canadian, as I guess we are, or whatever. So he's a Rakugo performer in English, but he kind of made Rakugo popular to the subset of people who are pretty much either Japanophiles like ourselves, or who are interested in Japanese media, Japanese entertainment, stuff like that. He's very funny. So check out Katsura Sunshine on his YouTube, and you get a little taste of what Rakugo comedy is all about. But going now into the anime Showa Genroku. Okay, so Showa Genroku Rakugo is kind of a really comedic, but yet also very sort of striking look at the history of Rakugo and all the different periods that it went through. And so without giving too much away, because you may have not had a chance to see this yet, seeing as it was airing in winter 2016, it pretty much takes a retrospective approach. So you have a young man who's just out of prison, and so he somehow has to find a future for himself. And by the way, I think I did make a mistake. That main character is not Sukeroku Yurakute. I believe that is his kind of his spiritual successor or whatever, but he's their main character. And so through some happenings, because he used to play Rakugo for the prisoners, he decides that he wants to become a Rakugo performer. And so he gets right out of prison, and he goes to meet one of the only surviving major Rakugo masters, and he kind of bamboozles his way into becoming his disciple, and he used to be a gangster actually, and that's what landed him in jail. So it's a kind of a funny story.
This actually reminds me of a great teacher Izuka, like some kind of.
Oh yeah, dude, it's so similar to GTO.
Yeah, really?
Definitely.
Huh.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big aficionado of GTO, so I might actually go watch this now. You really?
Oh man, it's awesome. It's outstanding. And what I really like about it too is that there are very few characters.
Really?
There are very few characters. So it's easy to keep track of who's who. Beautiful animation quality, absolutely beautiful hand drawn. It's just it's an excellent execution of an excellent story. The characterization is spectacular. The music is fantastic. When you actually watch these characters performing Rakugo, it's almost like you're there, and it takes you on a journey through time back to the Showa period. And on that note, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. A couple of little notable items is that the director, okay, of this series, I'm sure many of you are aware of Maho Sensei Negima. He directed Negima. It's Shinichi Omata, and this is this is of course based on a manga written by a mangaka who you might know. It's Jun Kumagai, and he brought us Persona 3 and 4, the films.
Oh, the movie
You know
version.
that he also brought us Feet-Ring. Did I say it right? I think I said it right. Feet-Ring was a really good show. I'm not going to talk too much about it.
Yeah?
But it was a really good show. Very psychological warfare. It was really nice.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's my jam. Interesting. And in case you're wondering what the studio that was involved with the production, it was partially provided by Star Child Records, and they're just an amazing studio. They've given us Furikuri, or FLCL, Toradora, which was like one of the funniest romance comedies that I watched in the last 12 months. Seitokai Yakini Domo, which I'm currently watching with a good friend of mine. Utterly hilarious, possibly the most offensive and rude romantic comedy you have ever seen, and that's why it's like the Archer of romantic comedies.
Really?
Hilarious.
Well, how is it called?
It's absolutely outstanding. It's called Seitokai Yakuni Domo. So Seito for student, Kai for council, and so you'll be able to find it on Google. And My Anime, what was it again? My Anime List? Is that what we usually use?
Yeah.
Yeah, so shout out to My Anime List. You guys help us more than you know when it comes to research. Well, you probably have some idea, because you guys write the stuff for a living. But there you are. So this is the same studio that also brought us Evangelion 1.0. I think you're a bit of a fan of Evangelion, eh, Guillaume?
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't think they didn't make Evangelion 1.0 and also the end of Evangelion, but they helped and they gave money actually. Yeah, they're producers.
So they were basically a sponsor,
yeah,
essentially.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they've definitely made an impact on these shows. They've made them possible.
Yeah.
So that's certainly not a small thing. Then of course Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei, which is one of the darkest and funniest high school comedies out there. Shidonia no Kishi, which is of course the Knights of Sidonia.
Yeah.
Amazing series. You recently got a Knights of Sidonia Bandai kit, didn't you?
Not the Bandai kit, the Koda Buki.
Oh yeah, it's a Kodo. Yeah. It looks awesome. It's
really
so
awesome.
simple.
Knights of Sidonia, man, it's something else. It has the worst first episode I ever saw in an anime ever. But boy, did they keep up after it, man. It becomes like really great.
Yeah. It's a pretty sketchy first episode. I'm not gonna lie, dude. It's pretty sketchy. Alright, we're having a little bit of compression issues, so that'll take a moment before that clears up, and we're good. So, and if I continue, you'll notice that they've also put out Return of Kings, Love Hina, which is one of the first high school comedies that you could say the seinen comedy, really. It's you probably already know the story. It's about a boy who fails his Tokyo University's entrance exam and finds himself in a suspiciously harem-like situation in which he's in some kind of a guest house that was developed for women only, and so of course hijinks ensue. Very funny though, written with a lot of heart, and just a comedy that anyone who's ever been to high school will be able to relate to. And it was also brought to us by a studio called Dax. Dax brought us some really important series, some mainstream series for sure, but we're talking about SAO, which is now I'm having a brain fart.
SAO is a show. It's Sword Art Online.
Sword Art Online, exactly. We see so much cosplay from Sword Art Online, so many Nendroids. The abridged version of Sword Art Online, one of the funniest things I've ever seen on YouTube. Amazing.
If they could put that much talent into making toys, that if they could put all that talent to make it a good show, maybe that would be alright.
Well, to the gang on YouTube that did the abridged of Sword Art Online, I positively adored it, and you guys did a bloody amazing job. Keep up the great work. They also did Fairy Tail, which I'm not familiar with, but I was invited to some kind of a Fairy Tail, like a group that plays some type of Fairy Tail role-playing game or something like that. I haven't had the chance to participate in that, but it's on my list. What else? School Rumble, man! School Rumble is one of those series. You're gonna notice a lot of artwork up here on our I guess our podcast, the video frame. So on the top left, you're gonna see a group of girls. Well, they're from Azumanga Daioh, which was one of the first sort of landmark series that had the typical, that kind of became a typical formula of a bunch of girls that are friends and their high school shenanigans and antics. And then that later evolved and became stuff like Lucky Star, which we see just on the right of it. And Lucky Star was very self-referential, beautiful animation quality, typical like Kyoto Animation knocking it out of the park. And then at some point in those years we also got School Rumble, which also had some funny scenes, like, you know, I won't give it too much away, but if you liked Initial D, they did a little gag about Initial D, which was quite funny. So there's a little bit of drifting, even though it's a school about going to high school, a series about going to high school. So that one's quite funny. And of course the last one that I'm going to mention is Hetalia. Alright, so Hetalia was pretty much the rage when I was studying in Japan. It's a web anime. I believe there's about 50 episodes. It is utterly hilarious. It's pretty much an anthropomorphization in the moe form. So those chibi little characters that you see here, like my Alphonse Elric, okay, it's a squeezed, exaggerated version. And at this point, I imagine terrifying-looking version of the character. So it recounts the events of World War II and sort of world history in a cute and easy-to-consume, light-hearted way. So each nation is represented by a character. So you have Japan, who's a character who's very shy and bashful, and you have Germany, who's very like, I'll just do this, and then you have Italy, of course, who's obsessed with pasta, and America, who's a superhero fanatic. So Hetalia is an absolute must. A lot of the same talent, or at least funding, made Showa Genroku possible. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's a wrap. Did you guys have any questions about the show?
No. No.
No, I think I'm good, man.
All
I was
right.
loading my mind, and I'm like, I'm thinking, nah, I think I'm good.
How you show get shut down.
I didn't watch it, so all I can say is, I hope whoever has watched it and watches this is gonna be like, he did a good job. Otherwise, I'm not sure what to say after this.
It's basically the same thing as Thibni.
All right, Devin, what about you? You have any questions for me back there?
How many episodes are there?
Oh, excellent question. Thank you. There's 13 episodes in season 1. I believe season 2 is likely. They may be waiting on some funding or something like that. So guys, go ahead and support them. If you have Crunchyroll, go ahead and watch it on Crunchyroll. You can watch it before bed, stream it to your phone. Try it out for free for 15 days. I really sound like a Crunchyroll ad, but I just kind of like Crunchyroll. Like, get over it.
Question real quick, how long have these every episode?
22 minutes.
For the 40 of you that have liked our page on Facebook, we've only been online a matter of hours. I really appreciate that. And if you have any song requests, if you have any anime requests, any unboxing requests, leave all that stuff right in the comments below. Be sure to like it if you enjoyed, and share it with your friends. And as always, stay frosty.
Oh snap, that was Thibni.
Raise your flags.